Hey, it's Monday, June 6th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by Mungan St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer Cardinals with the day off today, and much needed after 5 games in 4 days on the north side. And the Cardinals come away winning 3 out of those 5 games and take a series from the Cubs.
Yeah, terrific series. I thought Ollie Marmol did a very good job trying to manage a pitching staff under duress. And it came down to the extra innings of the 5th game. And the Cardinal bullpen persevered to get the rubber game, if you will, of the 5 games. And there was a lot of good things throughout the course of that whole 4-day period.
Yeah, as you look at everything, and you talked about it on Thursday that we were not allowed to nitpick on the lineups at all for the whole week, and we couldn't talk about that. So I guess the same goes for the bullpen and the way the pitchers were used throughout the weekend. There were some cases here and there where I think maybe we might not understand how the bullpen is set up at the moment, but I think Ollie Marmol has a better idea of where their spots are in the bullpen. I still don't know if he knows who his closer is.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at that 5-game stretch, I think you throw those roles out the window. He had to use fewer guys, more innings, and giving breaks in between. So he's very limited in his moves in that regard. So you could see, obviously, that I want Joe Roderick. Normally I use him for an inning or an inning a third. I need 2+ out of him. And so I think the lineup, the bullpen usage, all of it was a little different in a very unusual setting of that many games. Luckily for this club that they have today off, or you would feel the ramifications of the weekend in a game tonight, and in my opinion, you'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, Cardinals didn't get into Tampa until about 3:30 a.m. So they would have been really.
That's actually
really
pretty good timing when you think about it.
Yeah,
a late game, getting to the airport, landing, getting to the hotel. That's actually pretty good time.
Yeah, so they might have been in a little rough shape today, but they get the day off 3 days ahead against the Rays. We will be sure to preview that tomorrow on the show. But as you look back and you look at all 5 games of the series, I was on 670 The Score yesterday morning on their Sunday morning baseball show. And they were talking about the rookies on the team, and they mentioned the Cardinal Devil Magic that's out there in regards to just guys coming up and immediately producing. And I think a lot of Cubs fans learned to hate Brendan Donovan after this weekend, a name that they didn't know going into the season, but now it's a name they can't forget. And one of the guys that I brought up that I talked up a lot yesterday was Juan Yepes when I was talking about it. And I'm really glad that he came through last night. So anybody that was listening now goes, hey, that guy, he knows what he's talking about. But
yeah, Juan is the one guy who's struggling a little bit.
He is.
But that swing on the hit last night to the right of second base, that was a real pretty swing and a good at bat. So he's 3 for his last 14, but 2 of those 3 are doubles. He doesn't look overmatched to me. And it's going to be interesting when O'Neill and Carlson come back. There's going to be some tough decisions for the Cardinals. We'll save that for when it happens. But the young guys, well, here's the thing. Look in the mirror, Joe. You've got the wide hipster headband going with the long flowing hair, you and Donovan and Bader. Look at you guys are hateable. And then they have success and they're really enjoying it. Think if you were on the other side and losing, you'd hate them, just like everybody hates you.
With that, Brendan Donovan, he plays everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, we need to, we're making this, like, Corey Dickerson's out. Oh, okay, man, we got to change everything up. Oh, wait, no, we could just put Donovan out there, and suddenly, oh, now Albert Pujols is in the game, and it's just like, it just, they kind of fell into an upgrade that game almost with that injury. And you look and you're like, God, this guy can play everywhere on the field. And they
Oh
talked
yeah.
about that on the national broadcast this weekend too, that he does. And then he keeps hitting and he's hitting lefties. And it's just so much fun to watch that then you forget about him. And then Nolan Gorman hits a home run 420 feet. And you're like, where did this guy come from? And it is fun to watch. And it's a team that I know after this weekend, they are on pace to win over 90 games now. I think it's around 93, 95 games is what they're on pace to win. And you look at it, and I don't think we have seen this team go on a run yet. I don't think we've seen this team at full potential yet.
Because of the pitching.
And because of there are, for as good as Goldschmidt has been this year, which continued into this weekend, and I'll talk about that in a second, but you've seen Arenado. He was hot all April. It looks like he's heating up again. I think when you look at everything else, Tyler O'Neill has been silent this year. Harrison Bader is starting to figure it out at the plate.
He's okay. He's fine.
Yeah, Carlson hasn't really produced the way you've wanted him to. So you are getting a lot of underproducing players that I still think this team is a lot better than what we're seeing right now.
Well, I said we were going to wait, but that really was what I was talking about. When O'Neill and Carlson are back, there are going to be two big leaguers that aren't going to be big leaguers, and this team's going to be getting even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you made me bet today, and I'm reserving the right to change it because who knows who will be producing. Actually, O'Neill could be back as soon as tomorrow. But when Carlson's back, who knows who will be hot and who won't be and all those things. But I think Nootbaar and Dickerson both need to start producing.
Yeah, and you saw it with Nootbaar. I mentioned it last Wednesday. He made 2 outs that were over 100 miles an hour off the bat, and then you saw this weekend he hit. And he hit a lot this weekend, given the opportunities.
He's good
out there. Yeah, he picked that average from 100 to about 150. So adding 50 points over a weekend is a good thing that when you can do it. But I do think that with Dickerson being down and with Nootbaar being down, I think it's pretty simple to see who's out when the other guys come back as of right now. With that, as far as Goldschmidt goes, we saw the hitting streak get snapped this weekend, mostly because the Cubs are cowards and they didn't want to pitch to him in that early game on Saturday, only giving him 2 opportunities of pitches to hit. So, in about 3 weeks, when Goldschmidt has a 23-game hitting streak going again, I think we can come back and we can revisit what happened on Saturday and maybe reach out to Rob Manfred to maybe take that game off the books and look at, Goldschmidt making a run at DiMaggio's hit record. But that's neither here nor there right now. We'll hold off on that until July. But
it is neither here nor there. It's nowhere.
But you're seeing that the calendar turning did not affect Paul Goldschmidt at all, but it looks like Nolan Arenado has found it this weekend.
Yeah, those guys are clicking together a little bit. That's going to continue. And now you go to Tampa, a team that's kind of scrappy, and they believe they're contenders in the American League East. That's a crazy division. And really, what's funny is not many of their hitters are hitting. Margot's had some moments. Kiermaier's had some moments. Arozarena has been okay. They don't feel like contenders, but they're just winning enough games not to be out of it. So I think getting down there and getting established for the Cardinals will be big.
Yeah, I have not looked into the Rays yet. That's something that we will get to tomorrow. We did see Ali Marmol get ejected for the first time this season. Your thoughts on his performance in the ejection on Saturday?
Well, he backed up his players, and that's what the players want to see. He was already out of the game before he stepped out of the dugout. For those who don't know, and if you're watching this, I know you know. Can't argue balls and strikes. The minute you do, adios. And but I would say he got his money's worth. It was kind of fun.
on the concourse at Wrigley on Saturday when they came back from commercial, and there was a large group of people watching TV as we were all standing in line. And as I think you saw Cubs fans and Cardinal fans unite in saying that was a really bad call on Tommy Edman, and then enjoying the performance of Ali Marmol getting kicked out of his first game as a big league manager.
Yeah, it's funny. He missed that, and the statistics show that he missed a bunch of calls that day. But I've seen way worse ball strike calls than that. It was I thought everybody in being up in arms was a little over the top, but it was okay with me. It was a missed call, but I think we see, heck, that was I've seen umps have good days with calls that bad, but we got a performance from Ali, and the team saw that he backs him, and so it was all good.
Speaking of umpires who never made a mistake, the Joe West podcast, Monday's new episode is out right now with Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago White Sox. He doesn't do interviews, and he did one with Joe West. That available now. Search 5460, the Joe West podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, just like this one right here each and every day on Claibs Online. It's not part of Claibs Online. It's its own thing. So search 5460, the Joe West podcast, to find Mike Claiborne and Joe West talking things over with Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago White Sox and the Chicago Bulls. And speaking Bulls, NBA, you and Rocky will have a lot to talk about this week too, with two-man game coming up with Game 3 on the horizon of the NBA Finals. There you go. Some housekeeping is done and out of the way. Before you and I get out of the way, Rammer, a quick word from Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Get on board. Home equity credit line might be a way to go. With the value now in your home because of all the home prices going up, now might be the time to use it to upgrade, to make sure you hold on to that value. Call 314-212-1500 to Royal Banks of Missouri.
3-game series down in Tampa begins tomorrow. First pitch of the game on Tuesday is at 6:10. Rammer and I will come your way sometime in the afternoon before that game with another edition of Daily Cards Live, brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. For Bob Ramsey, I'm Joe Roderick. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
At St. Louis Acura, new inventory is arriving daily, both new and pre-owned. Our buying team adds a higher level of personalized service that others can't match. We sell over 100 pre-owned vehicles monthly, and many of these are matched by our buying teams in Missouri and Illinois. As new Acura production ramps up, be one of the lucky ones to try the newest Type S models now available. Performance has never been so stylish and comfortable. St. Louis Acura remains committed to becoming better than ever for you.